What is your American dream?
My American dream is we all get along and love each other.
My American dream is for my grandchildren to have all the opportunity that they should have, fulfill their own dreams, and be fully American citizens.
My American dream is peace, humanity, and justice for all.
My American dream is for people of all faiths, colors, religions to come together and to rebuild a system so that it works for everyone.
We'll all come together and become the democracy that we really are, and the strong, caring people that we are.
My American dream is no poverty, that young black men shouldn't get shot.
My American dream is that we can be a wonderful, colorful, diverse America, that we just all love each other and accept each other as we are.
My American dream is that every single American, every single person on earth is treated with the same respect and dignity afforded to everybody. Every single human on this planet should be treated with love and compassion.
We continue to aspire to what I think we can be as a country, which is what the Statue of Liberty says we are. It's just a welcoming country that's a democracy.
My American dream is a nation of immigrants that loves each other without any barriers of color, race, or class.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. I am here. Oh, my gosh, look at my collar. Wait, we go. Let me dress myself up while I'm looking in, not the mirror. My mirror is the television screen I'm looking at right now, the same one you're looking at me. Now I'm all set. My collar is all set. I'm ready to go. My name is Brad Bernstein, except my head is halfway out of the shot. I should just bend down like this. Or maybe, oh, I have an idea. We don't have to do anything. Watch. Boom, boom. There we go. Now we're good. How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. I've already said what my name is, so I'm not going to say it again. But I got to say hello to Jessica Leamy, Joelle Reed. How are you? Terry DeReal Schlamaz. By the way, today will be the last day I am alone here in the studio. Yo-Yo, because I'm sure everybody's asking, where's Yo-Yo? Yo-Yo will be back tomorrow. And maybe we'll have some special guest stars tomorrow, too. So this is the last day you see me here by myself. In the meantime, I got to say hello to Jessica Joelle Reed. Jessica Leamy, Joelle Reed. Terry DeReal Schlamaz, Angela Barrett, how are you? Marge Higgs, Tamika Nelson saying, hey, y'all. Terry DeReal Schlamaz, say, up, hun? How are you? Curtis Tanis is watching. Peace and Asinobi is watching, too. I see you. Jill Gould, Denise Lake watching, Lady Gaza, Ma Dukes, and Bubba O'Toole all watching on Facebook. And on YouTube, Donald Horton, first one in the comments, says, good evening, everyone. What's up, Brad, Dr. Yo-Yo, and the newest lady to the show. The newest lady is Pizza Pizza, and Pizza Pizza will be joining me later to ask your social media questions. Delrica Bird, saying she is watching from the land of 365 beaches. Let me guess, that is Antigua. And Ray Diop, Pizza Pizza already has her first crush. Ray Diop loves some Pizza Pizza. I hope she stays. So Pizza Pizza is already having her first crush by somebody on YouTube. Tracy Lacey saying good evening. Shireen Cornwall, why am I not hearing anything? Turn up your volume. Back it up, Ricky says, good evening, everybody. Carlos Estrella. Carlos Estrella, our pal Carlos. He used to watch us when we were doing radio every day, day in and day out. Then he disappeared for like 2 years. But he's back today. Hey, what's happening, Carlos? From the DR. Ja Love. Carlos used to be one of our biggest commenters. Ja Love, what's going on? overcoming. Bax Young saying hello. Max Santos saying hello. Adi Oduwu saying hi. By the way, it's all squat up. Squat up. That's how we greet each other here. Tally. Earl Eugene has a question. We'll get to you in a few minutes, Earl. Jamila Russell, one of our wonderful attorneys here at Spar Bernstein, watching. Mahmoud Fido saying hello also. And I don't know what's going on between Tally and Donald Horton, but they have something going on. I'm not sure what it is, but they've been going back and forth the last couple of days. I see. Even though I don't mention it, I see. But I'm calling you out now. Shireen Cornwell says she's good now, Brad. She hears us very well. I was only kidding with you, Shireen. I knew you'd figure it out. Giselle S. saying hello. And nobody really commenting on Facebook today. Unless I'm just not seeing the comments. We have a lot of people I see watching. Nobody really saying much on Facebook yet. YouTube has all the comments today. I wonder why. I don't know. In the meantime, I got to remind everybody to please share. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. I'm going to be schmoozing for a few minutes on whatever Jilly Bean gave me, the top 21 stories of the day here. We're paring it down a little bit. And then I'm going to be answering your immigration questions both by telephone, if you call 1-800-529-5465, as well as on social media. Yep, there we are. The scroll is working. Cameraman's got it going today. And so there it is. You can call right now, 1-800-529-5465 to get your immigration question answered on our show. Maybe there's 1,000 people on hold already. I have no idea. I didn't look yet. You can also drop your comments on either the YouTube feed or the Facebook feed, and Pizza will be here later to read off your comments, your questions, your issues, and your problems, and I'll try to give you my best answers. In the meantime, Maestro, please, can I have my music? Maestro, please, may I have... There we go. There's my music. No, that's not my music. That's just a quick interlude. Maestro, please, may I have my music one more time? No music. Okay. There we go. The maestro is working now. There we go. So everybody on Facebook, please take out this finger or this finger. You can use either one. I go back and forth. And please share this with your friends. Share this on your page. Share this on their page. I'm going to tell you in a few minutes to start a watch party. You can start your watch party now if you want. By all means, you don't have to. Really, we want you to start the watch parties when I start getting into what we like to call the meat and potatoes of the show, which is when I'm going to be answering your immigration questions. That's when we want to give the most help to the most people, not only in the New York area, not only in the United States of America, but around the world. All right, we have people watching from the land of 365 beaches. We got people watching from all over. So if you please share this with your friends and family, and the easiest way to do it is I'm going to share it right now with my friends and family. So I go to the share button. It says write a post, and I can post this right on my timeline, which is what I just did. And you can also go to more options, and you can copy the link, and you can send it to your mother and your father, your uncle and your aunt, your brother and your sister, your cousins, your friends, your enemies, whoever you want to share this with. You do it. It is such a simple thing, and you are doing the world the best favor in the world. Why are you doing the world the best favor in the world? Because I'm giving out as good advice as you can get. You want to know how good of advice we're giving out? You can't read this in front of us right now because it's glass. But trust me, let me tell you what this... Wait a second. Maestro! What happened to my music? I was getting to a whole crescendo here, and they stop it. There we go. This says 2019. Here we are. 2019 Best Web Series. It didn't say Housewives of Beverly Hills. It didn't say World Wrestling Entertainment. It says Bradshaw Live. Of all the live or recorded video series in the entire world that entered into the Synopsis Model D Awards competition, they picked Bradshaw Live as the best web series in the universe, anywhere on the internet. So congratulations to everybody who's part of our show. Please share this with your friends and family. Let them know that we are not only live, not only giving good advice, but we are the best web series in the entire universe. And on YouTube, let me tell you what you do. Not only do you take out your thumb, there's a little gray button. There's a thumb that goes up, there's a thumb that goes down. You take out your human thumb and you press the thumb on your screen. Hopefully you're giving me a thumbs up. You turn that thumb blue from gray. Why are you doing that? Because then you're telling the YouTube algorithm that we're a good show, and it's going to share it with many, many people. Now on YouTube, you have a share button as well. And when you press that share button, you can do the same thing that you do on Facebook, which is share this to your friends and family on YouTube. You can also, if my share thing starts working here, my share thing doesn't work, there we go. You can also create your own post on YouTube. When you create your own post, it goes into your community settings on YouTube and it tells everybody who, wait a second, what happened to my music again? There we go. It tells everybody that you love our show and you should watch it as well. So for everybody out there, please do that right now. Share this with your friends and family while I start looking at the news in something we like to call schmoozing with Brad. Okay, now we can cut the music. There we go. And now we're supposed to get a coffee cup. Schmoozing with Brad. By the way, I'm joking around. Michael, our new TriCaster guy, give him props. The man just learned how to use the TriCaster 72 hours ago, and he's in there flying this thing solo. So it's a lot of pressure on him, and he's doing a fantastic job. So I'm going to give the gray thumb to the blue thumb to Michael, the camera guy. Fantastic job on the TriCaster. Meanwhile, there's a reason why I am in a sweater. I have a shirt on and a jacket because it is going to be freezing this week. 70% of our country, of the United States of America, is going to experience freezing temperatures. It's a big chill across the nation. Please bundle up. 70% of the United States is going to experience freezing temperatures this week through an Arctic blast. Over 240 million people in the United States are under winter warning watches. By tonight, record-breaking low temperatures are expected across the country as the cold front moves off the eastern seaboard. And here's what the weather's going to be in your neck of the woods. If you're in New York, I don't know what it's going to be. Cities in Wisconsin, I don't know, I'm reading the weather report here. Cities in Wisconsin have already reported record-breaking lows with Oshkosh. Who even knew Oshkosh existed? I always say, oh my God, Oshkosh. It's an actual place. Reaching 23 degrees and Rhinelander hitting 17 degrees. That's out in Wisconsin. In northeast New York, it's going to rain this morning and snow expected this afternoon. While all this cold is going on, it's heating up in Washington for the impeachment hearings. The House impeachment inquiry will go before live cameras starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. The public has already gotten a bit of a preview from watching Bradshaw Live of what's going to happen, of watching all the different news, of what's going to happen at the impeachment proceedings. So starting tomorrow, the first two witnesses who are going to be called are George Kent, a Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, and Bill Taylor. They are both going to testify in that Donald Trump used his position as President of the United States of America for his own purposes rather than acting on behalf of the United States of America, and used his position as president of the United States to start what's called a quid pro quo, which in regular English is basically a bribery. If you don't do this for me, to give me a political favor, which is give me dirt on my political opponent that doesn't exist, I am not going to give you money that has already been authorized by Congress. That is a crime against the Constitution of the United States of America. The Republicans, they're going to say Trump did absolutely nothing wrong. It's perfectly fine what he did. We'll see what happens. In Kent's testimony, for example, he told lawmakers that Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, had a campaign of lies against the former Ukraine ambassador, and how Yanovich and how Volker and Sondland worked with Giuliani on the Ukraine. Taylor's testimony behind the closed doors corroborated many of the claims made by the intelligence community's whistleblower, whose complaint and subsequent Inspector General's report prompted the inquiry. Other witnesses that are going to be appearing: Fiona Hill, former White House aide; Michael McKinley, former senior advisor to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo; Gordon Sondland, who has changed his testimony. He said there was no quid pro quo, but then wrote a letter to the Democrats, maybe there was; Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, and Kurt Volker. Turkey, in the meantime, it was reported today in the New York Times that that John Bolton, who is the former Secretary of State, had a closed-door meeting with many people at a financial institution in Miami last week. And he is the former Secretary of State. People want him to testify before, that's Donald Trump, but people want him to testify in the impeachment proceedings. Now, he had a closed-door meeting. It was reported in the New York Times that he told people at J.P. Morgan in this closed-door meeting that Donald Trump was using his presidency for his own personal financial gain and was making deals with foreign governments for his own personal financial gain rather than for the benefit of the people of the United States of America. His number one item that he referred to was Turkey. He said there is not a person in the United States government, either on the Republican side or the Democratic side, from liberal to conservative, who thought it was a good idea for the United States to pull out of Syria and basically allow Turkey to bomb the Kurds. Now, we don't know what the financial gain that Donald Trump is getting or what John Bolton is referring to. We do know that there is a Trump Tower in Istanbul. We do know that Jared Kushner is best buddies with the son-in-law of the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan. We know that Ivanka Trump has gone to Istanbul for the opening of Trump Tower and met with Erdogan. We don't know what all of these relationships are, but maybe John Bolton knows a little more than what he's led on so far. In the meantime, Trump got out of Syria, gave northern Syria to Turkey, abandoned our allies, the Kurds, and they had about 10,000 fighters in ISIS detention. Many of them were foreign fighters. They weren't necessarily Syrians. They were people who came from all over the world to join ISIS to fight them. Well, now that Kurds were holding them, and since the Kurds were holding them, although terrorism is still a problem, it was reduced. Now we have 10,000 ISIS terrorists who have been released, fighters been released from a jail. And yesterday, Turkey started to deport these ISIS fighters to the United States and Denmark. Some of them are United States citizens, some of them are Danish citizens who fought for the Islamic State. They are also making plans to expel all the other foreign nationals as the Turkish government begins a new push to send back all the foreign fighters to all the European countries and other Western countries around the world. Now, this comes just a week after the Turkish Interior Minister said Turkey was not a hotel for ISIS fighters. The Turkish Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu criticized Western nations for their reluctance to take back citizens who had joined the ranks of the extremist militant group as it sought to establish a caliphate in Iraq and Syria. There's about 1,200 foreign fighters out of the 10,000 that were released out of prison that are going to be returned around the world. Now, several European countries, including Great Britain, have already stripped these ISIS fighters of their citizenship to try to prevent their return. The United States and the Danish national were deported from Turkey yesterday, and 7 other German nationals are scheduled to leave on Thursday. I just think this is making the world a little more dangerous, and I see, hints around, and then it's being confirmed by like a guy like John Bolton, who's a Republican, that something we already know, which is Donald Trump is using his position as president of the United States, not to the benefit of the people of the United States of America, but to the benefit of Trump, the Trump organization, and the Trump family. Meanwhile, Maya Rukamore Cummings, the widow of Baltimore Representative Elijah Cummings, is going to seek his seat in Congress. She said, "I am, of course, devastated at the loss of my spouse, but his spirit is with me. I'm going to run this race, and I'm going to run it hard, as if he's still right by my side." Cummings died of cancer October 17th after more than 2 decades in Congress. Rocky Moore Cummings is a public policy consultant and founder of the Washington consulting firm Global Policy Solutions. This was good. I like this as a lawyer. The Supreme Court is going to allow the Sandy Hook parents. If you remember, the Sandy Hook was the school where the deranged kid got hold of his mother's gun, went into an elementary school, shot 20 kids with a semi-automatic rifle. The Supreme Court is going to allow the Sandy Hook parents to sue the Remington Gun Company. That was the gun that the deranged killer used to shoot up that school. And they rejected an appeal from the Remington Arms, which was founded over 200 years ago. They claim to be the oldest gun manufacturer in the United States. And mark my words, if they allow lawsuits to continue, people say personal injury attorneys, they're selfish, that's ridiculous, the money that they make or the money that these plaintiffs are making. But believe it or not, personal injury attorneys serve a social purpose, and that is to bring people to justice when the politicians and the government won't. So here's a perfect example or a perfect situation where the government is dysfunctional when it comes to gun control, but if you allow people to sue gun manufacturers for providing dangerous instruments, that's what it is. It's a dangerous instrument that is allowed out onto the streets. And basically, it's going to bankrupt many of these gun companies. They're going to think twice or even 3 times before they start to market semi-automatic rifles to people in the United States of America. So perhaps where our government fails, perhaps the personal injury attorneys may prevail in some sort of social justice. I thought this was interesting. Donald Trump Jr., who nobody likes that I know, he was booed off the stage at UCLA when he was given a book tour. Now, what I thought was interesting is that in the event, which was organized by a conservative group called Turning Point USA, it was disrupted by chants of Q&A after the audience was told the president's son would not take questions. Let's watch the video. Okay, now what's interesting about this is you would think this was at UCLA and these were liberals because they were screaming and yelling, "You liberals don't know what's going on," and you would think that the liberal student body booed him off the stage. But that's not what happened. What happened is that Donald Trump has released so many ultra-conservatives out into the world that were scared to speak up before. Charlottesville, remember what happened there, that a lot of neo-conservatives, almost bordering on fascists, they were the ones booing Trump, saying you weren't conservative enough. We want to kick out all the immigrants. We want guns for everybody, or whatever their policies may be. So it's interesting to see that Donald Trump Jr. was not booed off the stage by liberals, but by more conservative people. It's weird what's going on in America these days. Now, the tallest building in Africa is going to open this year, and what's nice about the tallest building in Africa, it was designed by a team of women. By the end of 2019, the financial center in Johannesburg is going to be the home to the tallest building in Africa. The Leonardo will be a combination of shops, office spaces, apartments, a 3-floor penthouse, hotel rooms, and was designed by a South African firm called Co-Arc International Architects. Do we have a picture of this? No, we don't. According to CNN, a female-led team of architects managed the construction of the building, with 9 out of 11 positions on the team being filled by women. And it would be beautiful if we had the picture, but we don't. And lastly, do we have Sweater Dude, or we're going to save that for another day? We'll save that for another day. We'll save all that for later. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. This show's about immigration. Nobody wants to see me read the news anymore. I'm here by myself. I want to talk to some people. I'm sure there's people on hold already, ready to tell me what their problems are and ready for me to help them. So right now, what I want you to do, if you're on Facebook, is start a watch party. And you're going to start a watch party for 2 reasons. One, you could be a hero, and you can moderate your own watch party and have a great time doing it with all your friends and family while you're watching my show. And number 2, you could be a hero because you're spreading the word of a really fun show, plus an informative show where we help lots and lots of people who you may not realize need the help. So please start a watch party right now on Facebook. It's very easy to do. And on YouTube, you want to share this with as many people as you can. You want to be able to put this in a WhatsApp, a link in our WhatsApp, or whatever it may be, and share this on YouTube as well. But please start a watch party right now. And let's go to our immigration questions and something we like to call, you got questions, I've got your answers. So let's go to, I don't know who this is, Fotique in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Fotique.
Yes, Brad, how are you today?
Good, what's going on?
Good. First of all, I want to appreciate your show because years ago I was watching your show and I was stuck with my wife's case in immigration.
Right.
Then I took immigration to mandamus. Then I win them. They finally approved my case on October 22, 2019.
Wonderful. Congratulations. And all just from watching me.
Thank you very, very much. So I have a question.
Let me ask you a question. I didn't work on your case. It's just from watching my show and you kind of just followed along.
Oh, say again?
I didn't help you. I did help you. I wasn't your attorney. What you're saying is you watched my show and you took my advice during my show. And after just watching my show and taking my advice for free from watching the show, you were able to do mandamuses, file federal lawsuits, and get your green card that you may otherwise not have gotten.
Yes, because I didn't even know about mandamus before that.
Wow. Wow. Where are you from?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Congratulations. It's amazing because I don't realize even how many people I help. So thank you. I appreciate that you call and let me know that. What can I do to help you today?
I have. The question is, my mom applied for her 2 children over 21 and unmarried. 2014 September. So still they didn't send her. They didn't send her anything. So when I check the website, it says like 50 something. The processing time.
What do you mean to check the website? Says
how long can we wait?
I don't know what. Your mom filed for married children who are over 21.
No, unmarried.
Unmarried children who are over 21. Your mom's a citizen?
No, green card holder.
Okay. So when did she file for them?
September 8, 2015.
2015. All right.
Yeah.
So let's look at how long you can wait. You can wait forever, I guess, conceivably. Immigration's under no obligation to ever approve the case unless you file some sort of mandamus at some point. There would be no reason to file a mandamus until the priority dates become current. And the reason is because if you file a mandamus, whether the case gets approved today or gets approved 6 months from now, you can't do anything until the priority date is current. So it would be a waste of time to file the mandamus until such time as you can go into court and say, they've been having my case pending now for over 4 or 5 years or 6 years. The priority date is current. You are now in violation of my rights because I'm eligible for a green card if you were to actually approve my case and you haven't done it. They're right now up to July 8th, 2014. If you filed in September 2015 or your mom filed in September 2015, I would assume over the next year they would approve it. If the priority dates become current and they haven't approved it, that's when you would do a mandamus.
Okay, so that means 1 more year, you think so?
Probably.
Okay.
And what I've noticed is that they generally, immigration does one of two things. They either approve the case really, really fast, these I-130s, or they take years and years and then will approve it right before the priority date is reached.
Okay.
But if the priority date is reached and they have not approved your case yet and you have not heard from them, that's when you file the mandamus.
So do I have to check the priority date from the website?
From the Visa Bulletin. Google Visa Bulletin.
Oh, Visa, okay.
All right.
The second question is, can she apply for a citizen for 4 years and a half or?
No, 4 years, 9 months, 3 days.
9 months and 3 days?
4 years, 9 months, 3 days, she can apply for citizenship.
Okay, thank you very much. So have a good night.
Let's go to Abdul in Orlando. Abdul. Let's go to Donna in Greenwood, Indiana. Donna.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah. First, I want to thank you for this time and opportunity to giving me. So I have 2 questions. I'm a green card holder, and my daughter came to USA as A3 dependent 2014. But when I got the green card, she was out of status, so I did not apply for herself. So any possibility to apply herself because now she is not married and 25 years.
She's 25 years old. Where is she now?
Yeah.
Where is she now?
She is in Maryland.
Okay, and she's been living in the United States since when?
No, that is out of status because when I apply my green card, I got advice.
Your daughter's been living out of status in Maryland since when?
2000, because I lost my job 2014. Yeah, then after we both lost out of
Your daughter,
status.
again, you're just rambling. Listen to what I'm asking you. Your daughter entered the United States when? When did she come
2014.
And she's been living out of status since 2014. How did you get your green card?
Oh, I got green card under marriage.
Okay, but your husband never filed for your daughter?
Yeah, because when I applied that time, I got advice, don't try to apply herself.
How old was your daughter when you got married?
That time she was 22.
Okay, so then your husband couldn't help her. Now that she's 25...
Yeah, he tried to help.
Just listen to me,
He
Donna.
tried to help.
Donna,
yeah.
Listen to me. Your husband couldn't help her because the marriage happened after she was 18.
Yeah.
Okay? Your daughter's out of status. She's now living out of the status for 10 years. Do something to help her. File a visa petition for her now. Put her on a waiting list for a green card. At the end of this waiting list, which will be 5 or 6 years, you have to file a provisional waiver for her. She would file a provisional waiver. She would go home and come back. That's what needs to happen now. Okay? You don't need to come on our show and give all the excuses of why your daughter doesn't have a green card. What you need to do now is file for her, please.
Yeah, the green card, I can apply for herself, please?
File an I-130 visa petition for her now, please.
Okay, I will contact you then.
Please, thank
so
you.
second question, I need to apply I-751 for January for the removal condition.
Right.
So that time I have to mention her details, so it's getting herself any problem?
No.
Okay.
All right, hold on one
Okay,
second.
because I need to mention her address, all details. That's why
You don't need to mention her, but hold on one second. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, you need help.
Yeah.
Hold on. Donna in Indiana needs help. That is for sure. Saima in Ashburn, Virginia. Saima. 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 S-A-I-M-A.
Yes, can you hear me?
How are
yes,
you?
hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How do you pronounce your name?
Hello?
Hi. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Saima? Saima?
Saima.
Okay, I had it right. Okay, what's going on?
Yeah. So my question is, my brother's case is in NVC, and I'm receiving food stamps and Medicaid. I'm the joint sponsor for my brother. But yesterday I cancel all these public assistance. So I want to know that this is good right now. I mean good because public charge rules is.
No, because the public charge rule said that if the petitioner got any public assistance in the last 36 months from the time that your brother would go into the embassy, it's going to be a negative factor. So even though you canceled it, it's still a negative factor now.
Yeah, but I'm not petitioner. My mom is petitioner. I am the joint sponsor.
Okay, there's no way in the world you're a joint sponsor if you're getting public assistance, because that means you're below the poverty level.
So they will check past 6 months. They will go back to the past.
Yes, but also you can't possibly be a. How can you say that here's my tax returns for the last 3 years, and I'm going to support my brother, myself, and his family 125% above the poverty level if you were collecting public assistance because you were below the poverty level? How is that even possible?
But we don't know this rule before. They just announce and approve.
But just the math doesn't work. The math doesn't work. Because you had to show the government that you're below the poverty level 6 months ago. How did you all of a sudden miraculously get above 125% above the poverty level 6 months later and be able to also support your brother? How is that even possible?
Okay, even if we show bank statements and
bank statement's not going to matter. You need help. Hold on one second. Everybody needs help today. Wow. Let's go to Jackson in Queens, New York. Jackson.
Hello.
Hi, Jackson.
Hi. Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
About for a friend. His mom just got a green card. I mean, he's on F1 visa. I mean, he just wanna know if his mom can adjust his status in the United States for him.
Can his mom adjust his status if he just got a green card? The answer is no. He can't file for his mom until he becomes a citizen.
No. I mean, the question is, my friend is on F1 visa, but his mom just got a green card in the United States.
So he's on a student visa. Is he over 21 or under 21?
He's over 21.
Okay, so if his mom just got a green card, he's single, he's over 21, he's about a 5 or 6 year wait on a waiting list. So don't get rid of the student visa so quick. You can't adjust your status that quick, but mom should file a visa petition.
Oh, okay, but there's still a possibility for his mom to file for him and then get his green card.
In 5 or 6 years. A mom could always file for a child. It's just not happening that as fast as they would like it to.
Oh, okay, but I have a question. But I mean, he's not gonna be able to get a work permit on this petition.
Jackson, listen to me. The person's on a student visa. You asked,
Yes.
Is it possible to get a green card? And I said, in 5 or 6 years, it is possible. During that time, he gets nothing. He's on a waiting list for a green card. Stay on a student visa. I don't know if this is referring to you. Stay on your student visa. Come see me. You're in Queens. Let's go to Melissa in Brooklyn. Melissa.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have 2 questions. First one is for my friend.
Yes.
Her parent is a green card holder, but they have a conviction for drugs. But they didn't go to jail. They did a 5-year probation. She want to know if they could file for her.
If you have a drug conviction, you're not getting a green card.
No, the parent has it, but she want to know if the parent could file for her.
Is the parent a U.S. citizen?
No, green card holder.
How come the parent didn't get deported?
What's that?
How come the parent did not get deported?
I think it was years ago in the 90s.
So they just missed the
So they
parent?
had their permanent resident card, and then after all of that happened in the 90s.
Why, if you go to jail for drugs?
No, they didn't. They didn't go.
If
They
you
got a
get
5-year
convicted for a drug offense and get 5 years probation, you're deportable. So that person who wants to file for his child is a deportable alien. Before they file for anybody, they should check to see, hey, if I get put in deportation, do I get to live here or will I get deported? I would do that before I put any papers in with immigration.
Okay.
Hold on.
Next question. My mom filed for me in 2016. What's the wait time? And what category is that? Is that the F1 or the
I don't know.
F2?
Are you single? Is your mom a citizen or a resident?
Single, over 21. My mom is a citizen.
You're in the F1 category. You got about another 1.5 to 2 years. But if you've overstayed your time, unless you're 245I, you need to do a provisional waiver. You realize you're not going to be able to get your green card here. You have to go home and come back.
Right.
But you don't go home and come back without a waiver, because then you would be barred for 10 years.
Okay.
You recognize all of that?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. All right, let's go to Arthur in Boston. Arthur.
Hello?
How are you?
Hello. Hi, Brad. Hello?
I'm listening, Arthur.
First of all, I have 2 questions, Brad, but I want to thank you so much for the show.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
My name is Arthur Tamata. I'm from Tanzania, and I have 2 questions. The first question is, I have citizen here, and so I made my asylum case and didn't go through, so I've been with the judges. But then my dad became a citizen, so my case is still under review with the judge. So can he file for me? I'm 31 years old.
No, I don't know. We seem to be getting a lot of these questions, and thank you for your nice words to me. But if your father's a citizen, he files for you, you're waiting on a waiting list 5, 6, 7 years. That's not going to save you from deportation. So we got to figure out a different way to assist you. You either win your asylum case, or you got to figure out a way that you're eligible for your green card immediately.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So my second question is, this is for my friend, because she's not able to get through. So my friend, again, came from Tanzania, and she came on a student's.
I'm listening. Arthur.
DS-160 form, and so he put there are mistakes in her DS-160 form. He put himself as the sponsor and the parent of Allen. Now, when Allen came here, she got married to a U.S. citizen, and when she was filling the I-130, she put her real parents. So is this going to be a major problem, and is there a way out of this?
Well, there was some sort of misrepresentation of fraud. I'm not sure if it was done on her part when she filled out to get her visa to come to America. She put different parents down.
Yeah, because it's her uncle who filed the application, who has been a sponsor, because one of her parents is dead. So her uncle has been a sponsor.
What type of visa did she come here on?
F1 student.
Yeah, there's fraud and misrepresentation. She needs help. Hold on one second. Let's go to Sherry in Washington, D.C. Sherry.
Hi, Brad. I have a question.
Hi, Sherry.
One of my friends is filing for her mom in Jamaica, and 37 years ago, the mom was traveling with a friend to the Bahamas, and the friend was caught with contraband, and they arrested both of them because they were traveling together. However, the mom didn't have anything on her, and they released her. She did go to jail and went to court. Nothing was proven, and she was released. Would that be a problem during the filing? Does that
What do you mean she went to jail, nothing was proven, and she was released? She was found not guilty?
Yes, because she didn't have anything, but she was traveling with a friend.
Well, The only thing that can come back and haunt her, there is a law that says that you have reason to believe that you're a drug trafficker, even if you don't have a conviction, that could bar you from getting a green card. So if she was traveling with somebody who did have drugs, there's always that possibility that the embassy could say, well, we have reason to believe that you were a drug trafficker anyway.
Okay.
So it could come. The answer is it could, and your job or your attorney's job or our job, if I'm your attorney, is to prove, based on all the facts of the case, she's not a drug trafficker, if that becomes an issue.
So based on it's 37 years ago, would that come up at any point?
Anything is possible. Any arrest that happened any time in your life can come up and should come up, because that they ask a question, have you ever been arrested at any time in your life? Not, have you been arrested in the last 10 years?
Yes.
So I would have a consultation, and let's look into this case more.
Great. Thank you.
All right, hold on. Let's go to Steve in Columbus, Ohio. Steve.
Hi, how you doing, Brad?
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I want to just, first of all, thank you so much about what you're doing for the
My pleasure.
The immigrant. That's such a great job you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay. My first question, I came here, my daughter, she came here in 2017 as a green card holder. After 5 months, I get my citizenship. And then, I applied for her U.S. passport. She got it. She got her U.S. passport.
Great.
But now I'm trying to apply for her certificate of citizenship,
right.
the N600.
Right.
And now, I got all the paperwork, but I'm confused just about the evidence that they're gonna say, like, she's resident with me, like she's with me in the house.
Does she live with you?
Yeah, she's with me and my wife. And I got another daughter in 2018.
You show your tax returns and you show the school records.
She is in 2017 tax. She is in 2018 tax return. She just get in school. She just get in school this year. I got her profile student from the school.
Perfect.
I got another document from a club, from a museum.
Perfect.
She's in the museum.
You're already approved. You're already approved. You're good.
I got another document from the hospital, like show her name, my name, her mother name, in the same place.
You got to show that she lives in your custody, in your physical and legal custody. So if you enroll her in school and she's a dependent on your tax returns, and you are the custodial parent, you're the responsible parent based from the school records.
I want to ask you. Just for the I'm gonna move. I'm gonna switch the apartments next. January. Is that okay? Is no problem the change in address?
No, change your address.
And in 2017, can I send the 2017 and 18, or just 18 is enough?
17 and 18.
17, 18, but 17 was another address, and I moved to another apartment.
As long as she's a dependent on your tax return.
Okay, she's over there.
As long as she lived with you in all these different places, who cares?
Okay. The second question is, my mom, she just, recently come over here, and she, as soon as she got her green card, she got about like 25 days since she came over here. I applied for my brother. He's over 21 and married over 21. Because I called you before and I take your advice. You told me apply now, and I did it. I received the receipt and everything.
Okay.
And but I want to just ask you, my sister, she's like 23 now. She just divorced. My mom, she can apply for her too or not?
Your sister is divorced. Can she file for your mom?
Nah, she divorced in my country right now. Did my mom? She can apply for her?
Absolutely. As a single woman, yes, she can. Your mom can file for her.
Yeah, she's a single now.
Yes.
She just divorced. She's like 23 or 24, I think.
Yes.
And that she can apply for her is no problem?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you so much, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Let's go to Ahmed in Dallas. Ahmed.
Hello.
Hi, Ahmed.
Hello, Brad. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for this show, which has helped us a lot.
My pleasure.
My question is, last week I got denial on my citizenship because of arrest. I've been arrested for assault, family violence, causing bodily injury.
So you had a domestic violence issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I hired a criminal attorney, and during that time I was waiting for my interview for citizenship. So
So
I
your
told
citizenship is
that-
denied.
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
so what is your question now?
My question, I received my denial because of not having good GMC.
Right, exactly.
But it didn't say I can't apply before
What was the
date.
end result of your case?
It was the criminal lawyer. He told me he got me dismissed. It was reduced to family violence and then dismissed. He told me it's not judicial or deferral dismissed. It was just dismissed. He said, "I think this is the best thing for your."
What do you, I would,
immigration case."
where did this happen? In Texas?
In Texas, yes.
Okay, so generally what happens in Texas is this. You're found guilty of an offense, you do some sort of probation, and at
Right.
the end of the probation, they dismiss the case. That
Right.
is a criminal conviction for immigration purposes because
Oh.
that is a crime for immigration, even though your case was dismissed. Why is it a crime? Because the definition of a crime is you pled guilty and a sentence was imposed. So you pled guilty, you said, "I'm guilty," judge gave you probation or whatever it is, and then at the end of the probation, you dismissed it. That's a crime for immigration. So in Texas, all those cases end up being crimes. You were found guilty of some sort of domestic violence, even though it's a misdemeanor, you're now a deportable alien. So your lawyer gave you very poor advice to say your case was dismissed because for immigration it's not. You're deportable and you shouldn't be filing your citizenship again. You need help, big time. Hold on 1 second. All right, it's not that you have a conviction that makes you deportable. Let's go to Eric in Newark. Eric.
Hi, good evening, Brad.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, thanks so much. For the past days, I've been watching your show, and it's like I'm addicted to it.
Oh, thank you very
so
much. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
so my question is, I'm an asylee. I'm an asylum seeker, and my case is pending. Last month, I went to see the immigration judge, and then my individual date is 2022 August. But the thing is, I came through the border, and I was paroled into the United States, and I have a I-94 that the ICE officer gave me before I was released. So I'm also married to a green card holder, and then we filed the I-130. So when I told the judge about the I-130, she gave me enough time, so it can be processed and everything. But my question is now the priority is like it's current. So I don't know if I'm eligible to adjust status or I have to wait until the I-130 is approved.
You have to wait for the I-130 to get approved because you got married after you were put in removal. So because you got married after you were put in removal, there's a presumption against the bona fides of your marriage. So you got approved beyond a reasonable doubt that this is a bona fide marriage, that you got married for love, not to avoid deportation. So you got to wait for that I-130. You got to wait for the I-130.
We have a child, and
that mazel tov.
sorry.
They still have to approve
We have
the
a
case.
child, and
You
we
can't
didn't have
just-
the baby before we got married.
Eric, congratulations. You can't waive a birth certificate and say, "Give me a green card." You got to wait for the visa petition to get approved, and then you can go to the judge and say, "My visa petition is approved. Please terminate my deportation, allow me to adjust or adjust my status in removal." If your I-130 is pending more than 12 months and you don't want to wait any longer, file a mandamus.
One thing is, do I once the I-130 is approved, do I have to wait to go see the judge, or there's a form that I have to send in it?
There's no form again to waive. You have to go see a judge once the I-130 is approved. If your date's in 2022 and you get your I-130 approved tomorrow, what you do is you have to make a motion to recalendar your case to get an earlier date before a judge. But you don't do that until the I-130 is approved. All right, hold on. Let's go to Abdul in Orlando. Eric needs help. Abdul.
Mohammed.
How are you?
Mohammed. Yeah, hello.
What's going on, Abdul?
Mohammed. Okay. Hello, how you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Good. I just have a question I want to ask you about. Okay, I came to the United States on 2010. So after I applied asylum, and my asylum was later denied by the judge. So it was denied in 2013 by the judge. Okay, and I get married in 2016. So they approved my I-130. So what's the next step I gotta take now?
Well, if the judge denied your asylum, it means you were ordered deported. You're living here with a warrant for your arrest. You got to make a motion to reopen your deportation case. All right? You got to make a motion to reopen your deportation case and hope the judge has some sympathy for you. All
okay,
right?
but I see many people, but they say like I came here as an alien. So once you came here as an alien, they cannot reopen your case again.
An alien is anybody who's not born in the United States of America. So it depends on how you entered the United States. You still can't leave. You got to reopen your case one way or the other. You're going to reopen your case because you want to adjust your status, or you want to reopen your case so you could do a provisional waiver, go home and come back and not leave with an order of deportation. Either way, you got to reopen your case. I don't know how you came here. I don't know anything about you, other than I know after the I-130 is approved and your asylum is denied, you got to reopen your case. If you want to know the exact specifics of what you should be asking to reopen your case, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know what to say because I don't know anything about your case. I haven't seen your records, but I can have a consultation with you and then give you better advice. So hold on one second.
Oh, sure. That's what I want.
Okay. Let's go to Ali in Brockton, Massachusetts. Ali.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. I have a question about, I'm a U.S. citizen and I do apply for my wife. The prior day was March 4, 2019. And get approved. I-130 was approved on July 28, and I did the visa center. I sent every documentation they need, the evidence support and all that. And it was qualified by documentation. They sent me an email saying everything was fine. September 10, but I never heard anything about them. NVC.
All right, let me get this straight. You filed an I-130, and you haven't heard anything from the National Visa Center.
No,
somebody said everything's fine. That's your question?
I-130 was approved, and I sent the NVC everything, the documentation they need, and they said they're going to schedule an interview on September 10th, but they never sent me the interview date.
Okay. Magic 8 Ball. Ali submitted some papers. They said it was fine. They said they'd schedule an interview. Why doesn't he have an interview? Says ask again later. I have no idea why you don't. I don't know what you did. I don't know. This is what I do know. I do know that after your I-130 is approved and you process everything in the National Visa Center and they accept your applications and everything is done properly, what they're supposed to do is forward your case to the U.S. Embassy, wherever your wife may be, and she should get an interview 12 weeks later. If that hasn't happened, there's a problem. Okay? So you're asking me, obviously you realize there's a problem, and you're asking me, Brad, what's the problem? I don't have the slightest idea what the problem is, but we can contact the National Visa Center. We can contact the U.S. Embassy where your wife is, depending on where the paperwork is, and figure it out. But I don't know what the problem is, but I do know that if everything's completed at the National Visa Center and your file has not been transferred within 8 weeks to the embassy, or if the embassy has your file and they haven't scheduled an interview within 8 weeks of getting the file, then there's a problem. So basically, from the time that the NVC completes all the paperwork, your wife should have an interview in about 4 months. And if that hasn't happened, that's a problem, which you're recognizing. I don't know why they haven't done it, but we could figure it out.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second, Ali. Let's go to Natasha in Brooklyn. Natasha. Natasha in Brooklyn is sleeping. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis. Kofi in Cincinnati, Ohio. My apologies. Kofi. Let's try Justin in the Bronx. Justin.
Yeah, hello?
Justin.
Yes, Brad. Hello. How are you doing?
doing?
I'm alright. I just have a one question. I'm about to start my petition for my wife. She's currently in Jamaica. I just wanted to find out, would it be okay during the process of the petition, is it okay for her to travel?
To the United States to visit you?
Yes.
It's okay to visit, but she's always running the risk that when she comes into the airport that they think she's coming to live here, and she could have a big problem and get deported at the airport, and then you have a problem getting her. So if she wants to travel to visit you, I would suggest travel now to visit you and then file for her after, versus the other way around.
Okay. So basically you wouldn't recommend it?
I would recommend that she stay put.
All right, thanks.
All right. Let's go to Natasha in Brooklyn. See if Natasha's back. Natasha. Natasha is still not there. Let's go to... Oh, Ali was taken care of and Kofi was taken care of. There. We got everybody. What do you know? Meanwhile, in today's Spar Bernstein Attorney Close-Up, partner and immigration attorney, Shannon LaGuerre-Maingrette tells us about one of our most memorable cases. Let's watch.
The most recent memorable case has been one that I've been working on since I started, I have to say, 2009. And what ended up happening is that the client was trying to get his green card. He had been arrested many times, so as soon as he got in immigration court, he ended up getting arrested for having fraudulent documents. So of course that makes the case a little bit more complicated. 3 years later, he ends up getting arrested for drug trafficking in Arizona. So I had to basically argue that he was not a drug trafficker. So he got out on $20,000 bond, which I was extremely happy about. And recently when we went into court in Cleveland, Ohio, he basically testified that he had smoked marijuana for the past 6 years, at least 5 times a day. I remember being in court and almost wanting to tear up. And somehow miraculously, we presented evidence basically showing hardship and how his wife would suffer. She actually is a survivor of breast cancer. They do have 2 children together. And the judge actually was very sympathetic during my closing argument. And we received a decision probably a month ago that granted him his green card. So I was extremely happy. And I have to tell you, one of my most memorable cases, the entire family was extremely excited.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Hello! Hello, hello! Look who the pizza man delivered! It's pizza!
We're good to go.
Nobody whispered in my ear 3, 2, 1. No. And it was Jill was in here talking to me.
And my mic wasn't even on, and Jill just thankfully told
so
me,
for all of you who are watching, you can, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered by calling our 1-800 number, you could always call the same 1-800 number to schedule a consultation with me. But more importantly, you can follow me on Instagram. And if you follow me on Instagram, and I know who you are, and you are out of the comment closet, and you are part of the Brad Squad, drop me a DM. I'll be happy to help you answer your immigration questions. You can also follow us on Instagram at Bradshaw Live and see the best of content from our previous shows, highlights from our previous shows, and also, you know who mans the DMs on Bradshaw Live? You got it. Pizza. So if you want to talk to Pizza, you go to Bradshaw Live.
let me know what else you want to see. If you're not seeing, any more behind the scenes, whatever you guys want, let us know.
You want to go? You want to go speak to Brad? You go to Real Brad Bernstein.
That's right.
All right.
At Real Brad Bernstein.
All right, Jilly, are we ready for our Block G? Are we ready for Block G?
We're ready for Block G.
Okay, so getting injured in a construction accident can burden you with physical troubles and financial worries. Not only will you be out of work, but the medical treatment for your injuries can be costly. Personal injury attorney and partner Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch joins me to discuss how you can relieve yourself of financial hardship while fighting for monetary compensation. Let's watch. Every year, 10% of construction workers are injured on the job site in America. According to the Census of Fatal Occupational Injuries in 2017 alone, 5,147 construction workers died on the job. When an accident leaves a construction worker incapacitated, they and their families lose the financial security they once had. A good attorney is needed to make sure that the injured parties are compensated to the highest level, because most of the time they will never be able to work again. And there is one bite of the apple when it comes to fighting for compensation in court. With me to discuss what to do if you or your loved one is involved in an on-the-job construction accident is Spar Bernstein's very own personal injury attorney, Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch. Moshe, how are you?
Good to be here.
So Moshe, let me ask you a question. We've talked about all the different things to do in a construction accident, why it's important to hire good attorneys like ourselves. It's important to have your phone, take pictures, call the ambulance, get medical treatment. We've talked about who to trust. We've even talked about what to do on Facebook and Instagram. But one thing we never talked about is, how does all of this get paid? How do we get paid as attorneys? How does somebody who is injured in an accident support themselves while they're waiting for these millions and millions of dollars that you get them at the end of the case, which obviously doesn't happen in a week or two. It may take 1, 2, 3 years before a case settles. How do you put food on the table? How do you pay your rent? How do you pay for your kids to go to school, for school books or whatever? Clothes.
So Brad, when you're injured on the job and you retain attorneys at Spar Bernstein, our legal services are free from inception, right? We only take a fee once the case settles. So from the beginning up until the moment the case is settled, nothing is being charged to the clients.
You don't pay for anything?
Absolutely nothing.
There are no expenses, no hidden expenses?
Zero. Even the disbursements that we incur during the course of litigation, hiring the experts, getting the doctors on board, the narrative reports, we don't charge the clients absolutely anything, Brad. When it comes to their own personal expenses, for medical bills, for out-of-pocket expenses,
because a lot of people are very concerned. Is my lawyer going to pay my rent every month?
Right, exactly. And so the good news is workers' compensation kicks in for that. And workers' compensation is an insurance claim that you make with your employer, and your employer hopefully has workers' compensation insurance, and they will pay you for your medical benefits, your lost wages, and out-of-pocket expenses that are necessary. And what happens towards the end of the workers' compensation claim is they'll either buy you out, which means they'll give you a lump sum payment separate and apart from what attorneys at Spar Bernstein will.
Which will get you through till the settlement.
Exactly. But sometimes what happens, Brad, is a doctor from the workers' comp insurance company will deny your benefits. And if your benefits are denied, then you're left with nothing in your pocket. And so what do? There's something called funding companies. And Brad, you know what that is. It's when you get funding from a third-party insurance company and they give you money against the settlement of your case.
It's basically you're getting a loan.
It's a loan.
It's a loan, but it's a high interest loan.
It's extremely high interest.
Right. So there's good and bad, because you want to be able to take some money so you can
enjoy
your life and get through your life and pay your bills. But at the same time, you don't want to take too much because the interest runs very high. The good news is that if your case never settles, you never have to pay them back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you're not on the hook if you take a funding and ultimately you lose your case. It's not like you're in debt for the rest of your life.
Right.
You only owe them if the case settles, just like you only owe your lawyer if the case settles. One thing that lawyers can't do is pay your bills. That's against.
Hello, Brad Squad. Brad will be right back. In the meantime, I can do a little explaining on how you can help the show. You can share, you can like, you can watch, you can go to @RealBradBernstein, and here he comes right now.
Oh, boy, it's one of those days. It is one of those days. Hello again. They told me I had 6 minutes.
I know.
Yes, we did. They told me. Block G, 6 minutes and 6 seconds. It says it right
You read
here.
the rundown.
And then the rundown was 2 minutes, Block But,
All right, you know what? People wanted to get back to you. I think that's what happened.
Pizza, how was it live without me?
Okay, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I think I held it for the hot 15 seconds.
So we're going to do something that we like. Oh, I got to turn my mic on.
He's turning his mic on right now.
You know what? It's one of those days.
He's a boss. He does
It's one of those days. All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. Social media check-in. Here we go.
Okay, our first question of the day is from a Brad Squad member. It's always from a member of the Brad Squad, so get your questions in there fast. Brad, my friend got her 10-year green card in October 2016, and at that time, they were going through a divorce, already sleeping in different rooms. In February 2017, the military police removed him out of the house for the DV case, and now she filed N-400. She is worried if this is going to affect her citizenship. They have finally gotten a divorce in April 2019.
No, because the domestic violence is against him, not her.
How long does it take when a permanent resident files for her husband, child under 21, to get their green card? I have a vague idea that the husband is 2 years, but can you please correct me on
Your vague idea is correct. 2 years.
Okay. My brother filed a petition for me last year. He is a citizen. My question is, if I apply for a visitor's visa, will I get denied because I'm from Pakistan?
Why would you, if your brother applied for your green card, you are not getting a visitor's visa.
On the N-400, Part 12, number 22, it asks, have you ever commissioned, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? What is the right way to answer this question?
I'm just laughing at everybody's by the way, I'm just laughing at everyone's comments.
Let's hear
Lisa Blink Rose is like, Uncle Brad went to the bathroom. I did. And Jessica Levy, but I thought we had 6 minutes, and apparently we had 90 seconds.
It's live production.
Yeah, and Jessica Levy, Joelle Reed said, pizza, got this.
Yeah, I had it for a 13-second solid. I did it.
All right, so what's the question?
Okay, on the N-400, Part 12, number 22, it asks, have you ever commissioned, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? What is the right way to answer this question? Does it incriminate me either way I answer?
If you committed a crime, all right. Let's think this through.
Assisted committing.
One second. Let's think this through. Let's see. Let me think back a second. Yeah, I remember about 20 years ago I robbed a bank, but I wasn't caught. I got all the money, but I wasn't caught. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to be an honest bank robber, and I'm going to mark, yes, I robbed a bank once. You either committed a crime, you didn't commit. I mean, what?
That's it.
What kind of question is this?
That sounds like the right and only way to answer
you either committed a crime or you didn't commit a crime. And if you say, okay, I committed a crime, you're not
getting in.
You're not getting in anyway.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's the answer to that one for sure. For the N-400. If my wife disappeared the day before the interview, can I still go and prove my case, or do I need a lawyer to go with me?
If what?
If my wife disappeared the day before the interview.
I don't think you need a lawyer. I think you need a detective. Your wife disappeared.
Horrible. Yes, you're right.
You need a detective and a lawyer. I think you need both.
Okay, here's a longish one. I received annoyed after interview. When applying for my visitor visa, I stated that I was in a common law marriage, but in my country, common law isn't recognized, so I had to prove that I wasn't married before. I sent in a letter doing exactly what they asked over 5 weeks ago and still haven't heard anything back. What does this mean?
Whose wire needs to be fixed? Mine? What's wrong with my wire? Okay. What's your question?
I received annoyed after my I-130 interview when applying for my visitor's visa. It stated, I stated I was in a common law marriage, but in my home country, common law wasn't recognized, so I had to prove that I wasn't married before. I sent in a letter doing exactly what they asked over 5 weeks ago, but still haven't heard back anything. Is this normal?
Well, you're either in a marriage or you're not in a marriage. So you living with a wife is not a marriage. If you have a civil document to say you are married, then you're married. So you got a notice of intent to deny, and he responded how? You're not going to ask this question 3 times.
Now she's proved that she was not married.
But he said she was married at one point in time. You're going to have a fraud problem now. So I don't know who's advising you, but you're going to need a lawyer.
Facebook, Sue Wong Wong, what's the total filing fees for a family of 3 who is removing a 2-year condition on the same application together?
The filing fee to remove the conditions is
For a
one.
family of 3.
As long as you're putting both kids on the same application, it's one filing fee.
Okay. And how much is that?
$680.
There we go. How will I know if my security check goes through if my case has been held based on a review of my security check?
They'll call you and say, congratulations, here's your green card.
Okay. Does USCIS grant a renewal work permit, or will they just call me for an interview based on what I filed for?
I don't even know what that means. You're not going to get a renewal out of the clear blue. You got to file a new I-765 if that's the question, if your old work permit expires.
I believe that is, yes,
Right.
they need to renew their work permit. Okay. Can someone with a SIJ, Special Immigrant Juveniles Visa, apply for travel documents?
You can apply for advanced parole once you file your adjustment, yes.
Okay. I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh. What can I expect from my CR2 interview?
Prove that you're in a bona fide relationship with your spouse.
Okay, and then one more part of that question. How long will it take for my interview to be scheduled?
I don't even know when they filed.
From Bangladesh. In Dhaka, Bangladesh, she wants to know.
In Dhaka, Bangladesh, when will this man's interview be scheduled? We know nothing about this man whatsoever.
What do we got?
Cannot predict now. And what does it say?
It's true. Cannot predict
this
now.
Magic 8 Ball is
You
amazing.
need a lawyer, and
this Magic 8 Ball is amazing.
He knows everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Brad, a friend is currently on his third marriage. He did not include the first divorce info that took place in his home country. He only included the second divorce. Will they find out about the first divorce, and will that be an issue?
Apparently, this man is keeping his first marriage from immigration. It's a fraud. If they find out, he will be denied for fraud.
So why
Will immigration find out about his fraud? That's basically this man is asking on social media.
Fraud. Okay.
I just committed fraud on immigration. Will they ever find out?
It's a live show.
It says reply hazy. Try again later. Ask the question in 5 minutes. Maybe the Magic 8 Ball will know more.
Aaron Anna wants to know, my priority date is June 18th, 2018. Do I have to wait until June 2020 for it to be current before getting my green card? My interview date was April 3rd, 2019.
Who sponsored this person?
We do not know.
Again. Tell me who's sponsoring you. Seriously now. I'm not even joking around. Okay, because the last 3 questions were so vague, it's impossible for me to answer. Or ridiculous, where somebody says, by the way, I'm committing fraud. Is immigration going to find out about this?
And admitting to it on
And admitting it to it, right. So tell me who's sponsoring you, when you got sponsored, and what applications you filed. That way I can help. Let's continue.
Shernette Chambers asks, how long can someone wait to file for citizenship if they were arrested 4 months ago?
You need 5 years good moral character. Shernette, what were you arrested for? What was the case? Were you found guilty? Is the case still pending? Oh my God, it's one of those days. It's one of the. I should have stayed in the bathroom, pizza.
No,
I just I should have just stayed right in the bathroom.
We need your brain.
Right.
Hi, Brad, asking for a friend. Oh, 2 questions.
Yes.
1, how can you get a TIN?
A tax identification number.
Okay, yes, how does one get that?
You file a 1040 return and attach a W-7 to it.
Okay, let's see. There we got actual answers to a question
correct.
with meat.
Right.
Okay, he is refiling. I am refiling again. Can I file concurrently for the I-130, I-485, and work permit?
You're filing again?
Mm-hmm.
What happened the first time?
We don't know what happened the first time.
Who's sponsoring you? How did you come to the United States? You can do whatever you want. Whether anything would actually get approved, I'll give you some little more info.
Okay.
Magic 8 Ball. When will somebody ask a question with enough information for me to answer it? It says without a doubt soon.
Yeah, I think Desmond.
Okay,
next
fine.
one.
All right.
Desmond Anderson's got one.
Let's see.
Can I apply for a green card renewal and citizenship at the same time?
Yes.
There we go. All right. Very good.
Congratulations, Desmond!
Desmond,
You
you did.
asked the question
Thank
and I
you.
can answer.
Okay, we might have another one
Yeah.
from Green217. My son is over 21 when I applied for his I-130 in 2016, so he was over 21. I was a green card holder then. Now he is in the USA on a F1 visa. Can he apply for I-45? I got my naturalization in 2019.
All right, I was just reading Fox Racing's comment, so you got now.
Okay.
That was my fault because
That's okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, so basically, the father was over 21 already when he applied for the I-130 for him in 2016. He was a green card holder then, but he now has naturalization. So
Got it.
his son is on an F1 visa, over 21 now.
If the son is in legal status and the priority date's current and the I-130 is approved, yes, the son can adjust.
Awesome. That's great news. Okay, my husband will file for citizenship in January 2020. How long until he will become a citizen? Really, guys?
I don't know if I should just take the magic 8-ball and throw it at the TV or what. Throw it at the camera.
Brad, fix our life.
All right. When magic 8-ball, this man applied for citizenship. When will he be a citizen? What day? What day will it be? The outlook for knowing is not very good.
Yes,
This
well,
magic 8-ball is amazing.
It's really spot on.
It's really spot on today.
Measy
But I will say this as an answer. They're taking about 6 to 12 months, but I don't know about this particular case.
Okay.
Right.
Measy Berrien, what can I do when my asylum case is denied in court?
Well, then you've been ordered deported. You got to figure, if you're in court, you got to figure out a way, how do I get a green card? Because if your asylum is denied, you're basically out of status. And for people whose asylum are denied, you can apply for withholding of deportation or Convention Against Torture, which is other ways of saying, don't deport me, my life's in danger if I go home. So you should have applied for all three if you had an asylum case. But if all three were denied, they didn't give you withholding, they gave you nothing. If you've been here for more than 10 years, wait, come back to me, cameraman. If you've been here for more than 10 years, you can do cancellation or removal if you have a qualifying relative, such as a parent or a child or a spouse who's a resident or a citizen, or if you are married to a U.S. citizen and you made a legal entry, you could always adjust your status if you can prove it's a bona fide marriage. But you got to figure out a way, how can I tell the judge, don't deport me, I'm eligible for my green card today?
And as a follow-up to that, someone asks, if placed in deportation but know it is wrongful, what do I do first?
Get a lawyer to defend you.
That's really the only option.
If it's wrongful,
it is last licks at that point. You need to go.
I don't know what he means by wrongful. That I shouldn't be in deportation.
I think he thinks it is wrong. They have done something like he should not be in deportation.
It's your wire that needs to be fixed, Little Caesar.
Your
wire. Look, you have a wire hanging down from the side of your head.
IFB. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yes, you got to hang it behind you.
There we go.
There you go. There it is.
My ear wasn't shaped properly.
There it is.
Okay, there we go.
All right, let's continue.
Okay, when should I file my form I-693 for the immigration examination?
At the time of your interview.
Carla Jane Perez asks on Facebook, hello, Sir Brad. My husband is on disability pension. The state pays premium for his insurance, medical needy. Is this considered a public charge?
The state pays for what?
Pays premium for his insurance, medical needy, it's called.
I don't know what medical needy is.
Okay.
If it's any state subsidized medical insurance, it could be considered a public charge for consular processing, not for adjustment at the present time.
Okay. Dave the Geek asks, Brad, will there be a problem naturalizing if a U.S. citizen's spouse leaves the marriage and country with the child?
If the U.S. citizen's spouse leaves the country with the child, as long as you can prove, then you're not proving that you're living in a bona fide.
So really they're left here without their
No, I understand what he's saying. You could apply for your citizenship after 3 years of having a green card if you can prove that you live in a bona fide marriage with your spouse. Otherwise, you got to wait 5 years. So I guess his question is, can I do the citizenship on 3 years because I got a kid with my spouse even though she left the country? The answer is no. Just because you were in a bona fide marriage with your wife and you have proof of it because you had a child years ago doesn't mean today you're in a bona fide marriage. You got to prove today you are, and you're not because she's in another country.
But this person can wait 5 years and then on their own.
And then it's not a problem.
Okay. I have 2 questions. Can someone with a SID visa apply for a travel document if they have been denied one already?
Why were they denied the first one?
Magic 8 Ball?
Okay, so, I mean, you could keep applying till your heart's content. But if you were already denied once, we got to know what the reason why you were denied was before I can tell you whether you should be doing it a second time, right?
And in that same vein, who is eligible for a special immigrant juvenile visa?
A child who is under the age of 21 who has been abandoned, neglected, or abused by at least one parent and is eligible for long-term foster care or long-term guardianship. So in other words, a guardian would bring this child to family court, and the family court judge would give an American citizen or a permanent resident or someone even out of status guardianship over this child. And you ask the family court judge for a special ruling that it's not in this child's best interest because of abuse, neglect, or abandonment, that they not be returned to at least one of their parents. Generally, what it is it's a child here, there's one parent abroad, there's one parent here, so it's never in the child's best interest to be returned to the parent who's in another country who hasn't seen this kid in years and years and years.
Okay.
Then the judge gives that special ruling. That's the most general, case, but there's always 100 different ways. Then the judge gives you the special ruling, and then that child can sponsor himself as a special juvenile immigrant, basically as an abandoned, neglected, or abused child under the age of 21 in the United States of America.
Okay. Okay, that's a nice.
So basically, any and it should go basically any child who's not living in a 2-parent household would at least, I'm not saying is qualified, but would at least, it would be worthwhile for that child to see if they're qualified.
Okay. That's good news. Does someone applying for B2 visa need to show $62,000 annual income?
No.
Okay. Does someone applying for B2 visa need to show their health insurance?
No. Judge put a hold on that.
Okay. My husband approved July 19th, and I haven't heard from the visa center. I knew where we were going with that.
Magic 8 Ball. The husband was approved and hasn't heard from the National Visa Center. That's a statement, not even a question.
Yeah, we need the actual question also.
And Magic 8 Ball just says no. All right, which is basically no, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we need some more info.
Yes.
Okay, I am from Jamaica, married to U.S. citizen, filing an AOS and did my biometrics. How long should I wait before filing a mandamus? It's been over 12 months.
What are they filing?
I'm from Jamaica, married to U.S. citizen, filed my AOS and did my biometrics. How
and
long
you still
should
haven't
I wait?
gotten,
No.
you can do it now if you want.
You can do a mandamus now.
Are we ready for Block J yet?
I think we're ready for Block J.
Are we ready for Veterans Day yesterday?
We're ready to see the behind the scenes of the amazing parade.
I don't hear Jilly. Are we ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So yesterday was Veterans Day, a day honoring all of those who have served or are presently serving in the U.S. military. Yonathan, who will be back tomorrow, went to the New York City Veterans Parade to speak with the attendees and honor our military men and women. Let's check it out.
What's up, Brad Squad? This is Yonathan Elias here at the 2019 Veterans Day Parade in Manhattan. Now, this is the 100th year celebrating the U.S. veterans, but it started November 11th, 1919. That was called Armistice Day to celebrate the end of World War I and welcoming the troops returning home. Now, there are going to be about 25,000 parade participants today, and I'm here at Madison Square Park where Donald Trump will actually be speaking at the opening ceremony. Now, this is big because presidents are always invited to the parade, but this is the first time a president is actually going to be in attendance. Now, if you don't know the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, Veterans Day is to celebrate those living who served in the military, and Memorial Day is to celebrate those who've passed on. Now, I'm here to represent for Bradshaw Live because we love the veterans, and we're going to ask a lot of the attendees what Veterans Day actually means to them. So stay tuned. So why are you here today?
Well, I'm here today because I'm a Army Airborne Ranger captain, and I've never participated in the parade. I thought it'd be a great fall day to spend today watching the veterans.
So what can people out at home that are watching do to help, support the military?
I think as an employer, it's important that we take a look at all veterans for job opportunities and just honor those that have given their sacrifice and lives for America.
What organization are you guys representing here at the Veterans Day Parade today?
Wounded Warrior Project.
Why is it so important to represent and to support these veterans that are wounded like that, the indivisible wounds like you call it?
We're not able to do the same things that we were able to do back then. We get secluded, away from family, friends. And this gives us like an avenue to meet different soldiers. We know what we think about. We know each other, what we want, and it helps.
So what are you doing here today?
Oh, just hanging out for Veterans Day 2019.
Why do you feel like it's important for us to come out, especially if you're not a veteran?
You always got to respect anybody that's going to put their country first. And I think veterans should have even more respect than that.
This event actually started in 1919 on this day, right?
That's correct.
So why is it so important for us to celebrate and honor U.S. veterans?
Well, Veterans Day started with armistice when the World War I ended. It was supposed to declare there would be no more major wars, which we've seen that to be different. I think it's just honorable to be here.
So what are you doing here today?
I'm here to honor all the veterans that served in every war.
Yeah.
I myself am a participant of a Vietnam veteran. Desert Storm, 9/11, first responder. I've been in the military for 32 years, Seabees, and the U.S. Army.
What are some things that people out there can do to celebrate and to also support veterans?
When they come home, they need a lot of support, especially the trauma, brain trauma. It's just for the service of what they're doing for our country. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
These young kids go out there and they sacrifice their lives, and in some places they don't even look at them.
Yeah.
It's very important for our youth, our young people, to see what some of these young people that are now older have contributed to our society, to New York State, to the country.
Absolutely. How are some ways that we can support and help the veterans and honor veterans?
You could donate, because a lot of the events that we go to is because the donations that people are giving. We do a lot of events, and it helps. We meet other veterans. It helps us with the PTSD. They help us immensely. They do a lot of stuff for us.
To let them know that their time was worthwhile, because a lot of us veterans, like myself, I spent 12 and a half years of service in the military, both Marine Corps and Army, and the time that was taken away from our family time, things of those sorts, civilian life that we miss back here at home, we most of the time would spend overseas, so showing gratitude.
What are some other ways that we can help veterans?
Just by acknowledging us, by just saying thank you. You know, that means a lot to us in a big way. And also, when you see a female veteran vest out, we are veterans too. So
I actually
need to acknowledge us as well.
There were some veterans that were immigrants that were deported. So what's your take on that?
I think that's a terrible thing, because here they're all putting the country first, where a lot of people didn't, and then they have to go through that. It's got to be some exceptions. It's got to be some way to help them out.
Right.
That's a terrible thing.
I remember in Vietnam when we had people from various countries that actually joined the military, and it took a hell of a lot of time for them to become a citizen. I mean, you're going to go out there and sacrifice your life and the bond with Americans, and you're a foreigner. Give it a break already. I mean, it's time to honor these people, you know?
So you already know about the Dreamers, right?
I know about the Dreamers. I think it's not their fault. These young babies coming in, some of them are even born here in the States. If they're good citizens, hard workers, going to school, which is beneficial to our country, because education is very important. Give them a shot of life. Give them a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first year a president actually came to to a parade, and it's been 100 years since this parade has been going. So what are your thoughts about that?
No comment.
I mean, he's not a politician.
Right.
That he needs to be groomed a little bit, I believe, as a politician. But
yeah.
you know, and stay off Twitter.
Yeah.
whether you believe in the politics of the world today. The president was here, first time ever for any president. And I think it's an honorable thing for anybody to do is to celebrate America. We all have freedom to say what we want and live how we choose.
Yeah.
You live here all your life and you never participated before. So I'm a little leery as to his reasonings, but I'm still appreciative. Yeah.
Keep it real. What do you feel about U.S. pulling our troops from Syria right now?
Ah, boy, that's a delicate situation. You know, it goes back to why did we ever get involved with that war, going back to the Bush years. We can't fight other people's wars, but we can't let people be vulnerable to bad powers. So I think we have to have a presence to at least give the folks there the opportunity to raise their flag and get our help when we can help them.
I think that is baloney. I think we should have never left. What it did was it opened up the door. Everybody seems to forget that the reason we were over there was as a result of 9/11. Now we got 2,000 to 4,000 terrorists being set free because we pulled out. How crazy was that? But we're going to go back to protect oil. What? I have a problem with that.
So what are your thoughts about, him actually taking $3.6 billion that was supposed to go to the veterans for the construction projects to go towards the border wall?
The border wall is a different issue. That border was America. All that area was Mexico. So, a lot of people have generations and generations living in there. If you're going to keep out cartels, drug addicts, all well and good. For citizens, that's a rough one on me.
What is your immigration story?
My immigration story, I was born in Puerto Rico, Taino Indian ancestry. I'm an American. My American dream is for all veterans to be honored, education to be for our children to be more accessible, and to honor our flag.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And what's your immigration story? Thank you so much for your service. Well, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been amazing for me, and not only for me, but for you, because you guys get to support amazing veterans like them right here. Thank you guys so much for your service, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Back to the...
All right, so it's one of those days. What can we say? Let's go. Something we like to call speed round. We're going to talk really, really fast.
And we got a clock today.
We have a clock. We're supposed to have car racing. Oh, we forgot the car racing. All right. We're lucky we have a clock today.
Yes.
All right, let's just, what we have to be is
You're
thankful for the things we have.
Oh, it started. Okay.
Start, go, 10 questions, quickly.
If an LPR files for a child age 18, how long will the processing time take?
Who, what?
An LPR files for a child 19, how long will the processing time take?
2 years.
Can a green card holder adapt her granddaughter?
Yes, but you're going to have a hard time getting her.
Can spouse travel as visitor while waiting for interview abroad?
I would suggest no.
Can a person who has a felony apply for a passport in the U.S.?
If you are a U.S. citizen, yes.
My spouse needs to file for removal condition, but there's a criminal record involved. Will he be able to get his green card?
I don't know what the criminal record is.
3 weeks after applying for a name change in SSA, still no card in the mail. Help. I forgot to submit 2 passport-style photos with my application I-130. Will that deny my application?
It's possible they'll return it for an RFE.
Can I petition for my son, 12, while visiting?
I don't know anything about you.
Will the public charge rule apply to me if I travel outside of the U.S. for 3 weeks and come back with a 2-year green card?
No.
Can I submit job sponsor for new I-485?
I know nothing about you. That was 10 questions, 6 of which made absolutely no sense.
Let's try one more. I have a B1, B2 visa and I want to go to college in America. What should I do?
Get accepted to a school and apply for a student visa.
All right. We even did an extra.
Yeah, but we're going to blow up the studio anyway.
We should not be blowing up right
now.
now.
I think the studio needs to be blown up today. I think.
All right.
Oh, they want us to do another speed round now.
Okay. I mean, we can speed round all day long.
All right, do we have comments of the day?
We do have comments of
What
the
are
day.
the comments of the day? Yep.
Would you like to hear them right this second? Okay.
We have lightning in the background now.
I like
There's
that
like a
little
lightning
flash. It was
storm
like a,
in the background.
Psychedelic flash.
Do we have comments of the day? There should be a. There we go. Comments of the day. I just saw myself blow up.
I just saw myself. We blew up and we shouldn't have blown up.
All right. What is the comments of the day?
Okay. Facebook, Terry DeReal Schlimmaz. It's cold here. Snuggle under my covers, but it's never cold when watching Brad Show live.
Aw, very nice.
Facebook, Sandra Salinas.
Facebook, Sandra Salinas, or on Facebook?
On Facebook, Sandra
Salinas says,
I can hear you speak all day long, Brad Bernstein. So intelligent, so smart, my favorite show.
Oh, thank you.
On YouTube, from Fox Racing, Brad, you definitely handle your show on your own. Thumbs up to you.
Really? I thought I didn't do so wonderful today, but thank you very much.
On YouTube,
The drum roll comes
says,
after.
Uncle Brad is multitasking. He is really a lawyer with multiple hats.
Yes.
How do you do it all?
Thank you. I don't know. I sometimes question my insanity, but thank you. Yes.
Lisa Bling Rose, hot and beautiful Uncle Brad. The best and greatest law firm staff also.
Thank you. Thank you. That I agree with. Go ahead.
And the last comment of the day.
Right. Just because there's no drum roll doesn't mean.
Okay.
Doesn't mean.
Okay. Just Call Me Joelle on Facebook says.
Jessica Levy.
Yes, we met her. The Magic 8 Balls paycheck will be high this week.
That
It's
is for
working
sure.
overtime.
The Magic 8 Ball has been answering a lot of questions. All right. We are going to get us back on track tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
My boss wasn't done speaking.
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough. I've got to remember everything that happened.
So we'll have all our stuff ready tomorrow and organized. We'll
For Hump
see you.
Day.
We'll see you tomorrow. Jonathan is back. Pizza, great job filling in.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Anytime.
much. Now we're ready for the groundhog. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough. I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.